Hello. I think that frame is good. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Yeah, I think that's good. Looks a little dark. Okay, I'm sorry. I've been running around. I still have my hat on my head. But that's okay. That way you guys get to see how I preserve my hair. Rita's here! Hey girl, how are you? So good to see you. And I hope you were able to come on later when we did the broadcast. And I know you had to step out, and I think you said you had to go to some ballet class or something like that. So I'm so glad you're able to tune in. Hey, Ronnie from Cali, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to apologize to you guys for how I'm looking because it's snowing out here in New York. You're good? Good. Hey, Yolanda. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome, everybody. Good evening, everyone, says Anna J. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Evelyn. Oh, my goodness. You said your hair is still straight? So is mine. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Snow in New Jersey, too. We didn't get much snow. Hey, Tamika, welcome. Wesley Styles, that's Tamika. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you, everyone. It is so nice to see you again, too. Thank you, Evelyn. And so, wow, your hair is still straight. That's great, because I remember you were saying you're not able to keep it long. So listen, let me take this off, my madness. Hi, this is my first time on Periscope. I watch your videos on YouTube. Cool, nice. Speaking of YouTube, you remembered? Yes, I went to see the ballet. Yes, that's what I thought it was. I hope it was a good show. I'm glad you were able to catch it. Laughing out loud, I know I was scared with the weather. We had horrible weather this entire week. My hair has been straight. It rained every single day except for maybe one day. And then we got snow today. And look, look, look. I'm still straight, y'all. This is a silk scarf I have wrapped around it. I had another silk scarf on top of my head. Haven't been out since Friday. And then I had this hat on. It was magical. Great. The Nutcracker. Something I'd like to see as well. Wow, wow, wow. So let me take this off. This keeps everything tamed. This is from Saturday of last week. So this is actually day 9. This is day 9 with my straight hair, with bad weather and everything. The worst part of my straight hair is the scalp, where it got really itchy. Like for me, my scalp gets really itchy. So I can't do 2 weeks of straight hair, even though I love it. Love, love, love this hair. It's my hair. It's just straightened to the max. So, hi, I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, the only reason I'm going to have to wash my hair is because of my scalp. It got very itchy last night when I got home. I was doing, and I was like, okay, my hair is really finished. But I made it thus far. Michelle, I just saw your pictures. Thank you for tagging me and letting me know that you like the Get Set Hair Jelly by Wonder Curl, and then that balm that Tamika, who's on the scope right now, had recommended to you. So I'm glad that combination worked for your wash and go. It looked awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to repost on my page. Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure. And let's see, who's this? Brittany from San Diego. Hey girl, thank you for tuning in. What time is it there? You guys are behind us, so that's not too bad. Rita is in a different time zone too. She's in the UK and it's 1 a.m. for her. So I really, really, really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in for your various, time frames that you're working with. It's 5:30, so it's the middle of your day. You're probably cooking or something. So really quickly, what I want to do is introduce myself and then kind of let you guys know a little bit about what's going on. I really love you guys. I love this checking in thing, but for some people who are going to be watching this, hopefully on YouTube, I want to kind of get them involved and kind of get them included as well. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Abena Palmore. I'm a natural hair specialist in the New York City area. I work in a salon in the Bronx called the Gifted Hair Clinic. It's located at 3511-1 Boston Road. It's at the corner of Eastchester, and that's near Co-op City. For those of you who are familiar with the New York City area, Co-op City is a landmark area. And so it's the northern part of the Bronx. It's near Westchester. And I'm in the salon by appointment only. The days that I work are Tuesdays through Saturdays. And so to make an appointment with me, you can go to styleseat.com/Abena Palmore. Abena Palmore is spelled Abena Palmore. And if you're not able to come into the salon, you can also find me on YouTube at Embrace Natural Beauty. That's my YouTube channel. And there I share simple tips and techniques that have been helpful to me in my own natural hair journey, which has been just over 4 years, that have helped me to maintain my hair, to keep it in good condition, and to retain length, which was always my goal. And I want all of you, if that is your goal, to be able to maintain your hair, keep it in good condition, and retain length so that you enjoy your hair and embrace natural beauty of your own. And I had to block someone during my introduction. And so you can also find me on Instagram at embrace_natural_beauty, and on Twitter and Periscope at Embrace N for Natural Beauty, and then on Facebook at Embrace Natural Beauty. So those are all my social media platforms, and you can find me on any one of them. So thank you again for tuning in, and thank you all for the lovely hearts, and thank you all for your patience, because I know a lot of you already know who I am. So another thing that I wanted to share with you guys, when it comes to YouTube, there are a lot of people who are not able to tune in and participate in the chat. This is Jackie from Alaska. I enjoy your videos. Well, thank you, Jackie, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for letting me know your name. And what I'd like to do, although I don't like to have hair on my face, I've been in ponytails every day. Oh, Evelyn, you got to enjoy this straight hair. So listen, really quickly, what I want to do. I noticed that when we go over an hour, even though I have room on my iPhone, which is what I'm recording from, it doesn't save automatically to my phone, so I can upload it easily to YouTube. So last week there were a lot of technical issues, and what I tried to do was record it by pointing my camera at my computer screen, and I had to record it several times. It kept Periscope kept like freezing, like my face would be there, and there's no words coming out. I'm like, I can't put this on YouTube like this. So what I want to try to do, and if you all can bear with me if you're able to, I'd like to be able to stop at the 30-minute mark, and then for those of you who are interested in continuing the chat, I can come right back on, but at least that way it gives it an opportunity to save directly to my phone. Even though I have plenty of space, it for some reason doesn't want to save the video once it goes, to the hour mark. So I want to be able to give those on my YouTube channel who are not able to tune in and participate with the chat at least an opportunity to watch the replay, in a way that's convenient for them. So if you don't mind, that's what I'm going to do. My alarm is going to go off at 30 minutes, and I'm going to, close and then come right back, okay? I got some thumbs up. I love it, because you guys are a community, you guys are a family, and it's all about how we can all share with one another. So I'm really happy to hear that. So tonight's topic, and I know you guys are going to ask me a whole bunch of questions while I'm trying to talk, but that's okay. That's why we're here. What I'd like to do is share with you that I did a lot of cutting this week, and some of the hair that I was cutting was just a simple trim, and then some were more cuts. What's the best brand of color to cover gray hair? Wendy? Hold on to your question. Oh, hi, Latasha. Latasha! Oh, I know who that is. Hey, girl, how are you? See how high-pitched my voice? Why is my voice so high-pitched? Shay is here. Shay is in the town on the scope. Look at my crew. Look at you. Give yourself some hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. These are my friends. These are people I know in person. Just gray it out. Oh. Go like natural silver sister, for real, for real. Hey, Michelle. Sorry, I was typing before you said the topic. Oh, okay, yeah. What I want you guys to do also is I'm going to try to stay on point. I noticed that if I'm trying to talk about, answering a question, and then I start to look at, the comments, what happens is I wind up forgetting what I was talking about, and then I don't get back to it. Thank you, Natasha. Latasha, excuse me. So thank you. What I want to do is if you want to hold on to your question, type it in, then copy it. So that way, if I don't answer your question right away, you can always paste it in again to give an opportunity for me to see your question. So if we can do that. Now, getting back to the topic really quickly, sometimes when we're doing a trim as natural stylists, we see the hair is growing nicely, and I had a couple of people I could actually see the hair was really growing in nicely. But when you have a situation where you have a lot of thinness at the ends, that means that something went wrong. And so for someone like, you guys know, the photo that I put up yesterday, and I also had invited you all in on my Periscope earlier this week when there was a young lady who had a lot of breakage. I wanted to share that with you guys. You know why? Because you could be on a good path and then all of a sudden say to yourself, well, maybe I should try something else, try something different. Maybe I would get even better results than what I'm getting. And it's so not necessary. If you are doing well with your regimen, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You see other people doing other things, unless you know you're experiencing a setback, there's no reason to change your regimen. And if you're going to change your regimen and you're not sure, if you've never, granted you've never experienced it before because you're not doing it now, you may want to just check in with someone like me. It's like, you go to the doctor and you let the doctor go over all your symptoms. You talk about all your symptoms. You talk about your history, all that stuff. And then they can help make a diagnosis for what's best for you based on all the information you've given. And then they're able to check your pulse and check your blood and all that good stuff. The same thing for your natural hairstylist. We need to be able to hear what you've been doing to your hair over a period of time, and then help you work together to figure out if you need to make some adjustments if you're experiencing a setback before you try, doing something that you see other people doing that are sharing that they're having good results. And so that happened with someone this week, and it was really very profound because this young lady had hair pretty much as long as I do. But she was experiencing a lot of breakage. And I'm like, so if you got to this point of growth, at some point you were doing some things right. But then you changed up and it's not going right for you anymore. Why would you do that? And so it was good that she decided to come to me. I could tell her, yeah, you may not want to do that. No, not may. You don't want to do that. Stop that. It's not helping you. And then you misdiagnose and think you're getting some progress because you made this change. So let me tell you what it was, and you all are going to you're going to have a ball with this one. She decided to stop using shampoo that contains sulfates. That's one of the factors. Yeah, Obama, how are you? Block party, y'all? Should I do a block party? Let's do some blocking here. Did I wait too late? I missed a name. Come again and we will be blocking. We will be blocking. And if I miss, you guys are welcome to block for me. Thank you so much. So yeah, and I know a lot of you are like, okay, that's what naturals are doing. They don't use sulfates on their hair. Hello, I'm a natural. Hello, 4 years, success. Always sulfates, always, always. And silicones. They're not going to kill the hair. It's not going to kill the hair. Cleaning your hair does not kill your hair. Having your hair feel stripped when it's clean does not kill your hair, does not dry your hair out. Not using a conditioner following your shampoo may lead to dryness. And not using a moisturizer will lead to dryness. And not using something to seal in that moisture will lead to dryness. Not the shampoo with the sulfate. So if you're not using sulfates, you use sulfate shampoos? Yes. For 4 years. Block party. Here we go. Block party number 2 on the scope tonight. People unfortunately mistake YouTubers as professionals. There's so many misinformation out there. Yeah, it's so unfortunate because sometimes you have people who are not using sulfates and their hair looks gorgeous, but you don't know the whole story. They don't show you everything. They don't show you that they're putting a gloss on their hair to give it shine. Because, oh, my hair is dull. Why is your hair dull? Because you're not cleaning your hair. I always had, and my longest with sulfates and silicone, I had always used for the longest. And didn't we use sulfates when we were relaxed? Someone is asking me, how often do I use heat? Oh, this is funny. I'm enjoying this hair so much this week because I haven't had my hair straightened in over a year. This is, January of 2016. all of 2015, I did not straighten my hair. The last time before this was November of 2014. So I'm really enjoying it this go around for the first time since I've been natural. Because prior to that, oh, thank you so much. Prior to that, you know, this is how my hair looked for 15 years when it was relaxed. So I didn't want to see this look. I didn't care for this look. But after a full year of not seeing it, it looks great. I'm enjoying it. I don't even want to wash my hair if it wasn't for my scalp. So no heat is better. Well, and when it comes to heat, because it is something that could be potentially damaging to your hair, how can you get it straight? I will answer that. Because it is something that could potentially damage your hair, it's something that you don't want to do too often. Because anything that we do to our hair is, it's cumulative, okay? It's a part of our body. So it's just going to wear down and become weaker and weaker. And unlike, you know, your body where you can go to the gym and you can exercise and get your muscles, get them fit and everything like that, your hair, when it's growing, by the time it pops out of your scalp, it's already dead. So all you're doing is preserving your hair. So you really have to be mindful of what you expose it to with regard to heat, color treatments, even the way that you handle your hair, like if you're using a comb, if you're using a brush. I never use a brush on my hair. But combs I do use, and some people avoid using combs. I use first my fingers to detangle, to get most of the tangles out, and then I use a wide tooth comb. And then after I detangle with a wide tooth comb, I use a fine tooth comb. And so a lot of naturals avoid combs because they feel like these are tools that are going to damage their hair. That's not necessarily true. It could be potentially damaging, especially if you're, you know, attacking your hair like a sledgehammer or like an axe or something like that. You don't have to do that. Just be gentle with your hair. Make sure it's saturated, right? Make sure it's saturated with your conditioner. Make sure it's, you know, sopping wet. And then you can go through easily. And always start at the ends. Fingers and wide tooth for me. And then a fine tooth. And the reason why I use the fine tooth is because the wide tooth, you notice there are spaces. It's not going to get all of the loose hairs. You do have loose hairs, and if you have curly hair, the loose hairs are not going to just fall out just because you got some water running down your hair. They're not going to just fall out. So if you have these loose hairs all wrapped up in your curly hair, I only use a comb on wash day, okay. If you have all these loose hairs, you know, in your curly hair, what they're going to do is they're going to wrap around other hairs. If you do straighten, how often is safe to straighten? You know, that's an interesting question because you don't know how often is often enough or too often until you experience breakage or damage, right? So I just don't like to push the envelope. So for me, right now, the max has been 3 times throughout a year. That has been the most for me. As I get more comfortable with heat styling, because I am, you know, doing more so in the salon, I may feel more comfortable with doing it more so during the winter time because it's so easy to maintain when you have the cool climate. But for the most part for me right now, my magic number is 3. Wrap around it. It's not city. I didn't understand that. But yeah, the reason why I'm just sticking to 3 is because that's worked fine. And all of last year I didn't do any. So I could potentially do more this year, but again, it's hair that I'm preserving, so why would I expose it that much? Do you have clients with really short hair, maybe 3 inches or less? I have clients with varying degrees or range of hair length, so there's no like one group that I work with specifically. Gee, I wanted to finish hearing the story of the young lady with the sulfates. Oh, she put me on point, like, get back to that topic, girl. Get back. You too? Okay, let's do that. No worries. So Rita does this all the time. So let's do this. So yeah, she she decided that she would stop using sulfates and, you know, maybe somehow her hair would be even better than what it already was. She had a really good head of hair. So she said that she noticed that with the sulfates, her hair was growing in thicker. And so I said, your hair is growing in thicker? Yeah, it's much thicker, you know, than the ends. And I'm like, okay, but you know what? You understand this? This is what happens when your hair is growing in. it's growing in. So it's not that it's growing in thicker, it's just growing in. The portions on the end are breaking. So it just looks like this is healthier, which it is, but that's not a result of no sulfates. So to continue on with a regimen, removing sulfates when your hair was fine prior to that because you'd already reached some length is not the right diagnosis. Okay? So what could be causing your breakage has nothing to do with the fact that you're using a shampoo that contains sulfates because you had already reached that length with years of using, shampoo with sulfates. It's other things that you are doing, which if you talk to me and you tell me the history of your hair and you open up, sometimes you don't remember all the things, so I'm not getting the full story. But from some of the things that she shared with me, like she shared with some of you, her go-to style was a bun. Now that doesn't sound too bad. But guess what? I've had a number of clients who've come to me and all they do is wear their hair up in a puff or a bun. Exactly, right there, tension. And then also the friction from whatever the material is that you have resting on the edges of your hair. And that's where the breakage tends to be, around the edges, wherever that material was sitting on. You get a lot of pressure, a lot of tension, and a lot of friction on those areas. It's simple things that could lead to breakage. And then it's also several factors, because if your hair is really strong, if it's growing in strong, like if you're consuming a lot of vegetables, a lot of people who consume a lot of vegetables have very strong hair that grows in, because you have to remember your hair is just a composition of dead skin cells that have been keratinized, have gone through a keratinization process before it becomes hardened and comes out of your scalp. So it's a part of your body makeup. So it's what you're consuming and how you're caring for, your body. Especially one of the things we talked about is making sure you're getting water, which helps the blood flow, which nourishes your follicles, and having, a good regimen of exercise. So then you're having oxygenated blood flow. Wait, so she started off with thick ends over time, sulfate-free, degraded her hair. Sulfate-free does not degrade your hair. What it does is it doesn't remove the buildup of product as effective as having sulfates. So if you're using product and it's building up on your hair and on your scalp and you're not getting adequate, moisture to it, that's where you start to experience the breakage. It's dry hair that leads to breakage. And so having sulfates in your shampoo does not necessarily cause your hair to become dry. I shared with everyone there are 4 major sulfates that we want to avoid because they're so harsh. They're so harsh that they can be, used as detergents. We don't need that level of harshness on our hair. But there are plenty of sulfates that are used in formulations in your shampoos. Just as long as you're not using a shampoo that contains harsh sulfates, you are fine. But it's so important to have clean scalp and clean hair, so that way you can actually afford your hair and your scalp an opportunity to receive that moisture. It's without moisture that your hair becomes dry, and if it's dry, it becomes brittle, and if it's brittle, that's when it breaks. That's what happened. In addition to, having the weakened hair with the bun. Give me a moment. I'm just going to sip some coffee. So now I have a question. What are the good sulfates? All of the others. There were simply four sulfates that I mentioned in my video on shampoos and conditioners. Just 4. They were ammonium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl sulfate. There are 2 basic sulfates, and they are a family, or they're cousins or whatever. So they have the same name. One ends with laureth and the other one is laurel. That's the only difference. And I mentioned them. I typed them out there. They're not easy. They're not everyday words. So I wrote them out. I typed them out on the video so you can literally see them. It's just 4. So as long as you don't see those for cleaning, I don't use, apple cider vinegar rinse. I don't use that as a shampoo. I use that once in my regimen, once. Because I don't have buildup from product, because I wash my hair every week with a shampoo that contains sulfates. And then for some of you who know, there was a period of time when I started using the Wonder Curl Detoxifying Clay Cleanser. But my point is, I didn't do it to avoid sulfates. I just did it to try the cleanser in the Wonder Curl product line because I love Wonder Curl products. But I don't avoid sulfates because I love sulfates. I love how well it has managed, to keep my scalp and my hair clean. Hello, welcome from Russia. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, just that simple. So my point is, ladies, you could be on a good path, and I'm so glad that there was a young lady who came to me this week. Her hair was very healthy. I had a good time, handling her hair, being able to tell her, you're doing just fine. You don't need to change anything. And guess what? She was getting ready to start, and I still have to, convince her that she doesn't have to do it. She's getting ready to start a whole nother method. I'm like, but what you've been doing is working fine. Your hair is full all the way to the ends. You have no issues with your hair. You have healthy hair that's in good condition. You don't need to change a thing. But she's bored and just wants to try. So we'll be checking. She'll be coming to me in about 3 months. Actually, she'll be coming to me in 2 months. What are your favorite shampoos? I listed them. It's like 14. Well, not favorite, but I listed them all in that video. Rita, I'm sorry I didn't get to see your comment. Come, bring it again. But yeah, she's going to come to me in March. Do you think you could speak on how to care for low porosity, short, natural hair? Laughing out boredom. I know it's just slightly different, and I think your name was Vicky. But I did share, pretty much all of the little tips that I could bring together in one form. What video and where is it? On my YouTube channel, Embrace Natural Beauty, there's a video called Shampoos and Conditioners, and it outlines the shampoos and conditioners that I've used on myself and my clients, how I selected them, the criteria that I used, and how I weeded out the things that I didn't want, in my products. And so with moisturizing low porosity hair, Blondie, okay, with moisturizing low porosity hair, the only difference from what I shared in the video that may be challenging for you is how to squeeze the hair, right? So I had said to you, what did I say to you? Like, if you have smaller portions, you can probably just squeeze right there. But the most important thing is actually when you have the water running and you've used the shampoo, especially because that's removed all the product, just to get in there and press. And then when you're preparing, to style the hair, what I do with the short hair clients is I separate, I part it, and I do twists with just water, just saturated with water. I do that all around the head. And then I come back to like the first row of twists, and I add the moisturizer, and I retwist all over the head. And then I start to style with the gel. If I'm doing a wash and go, or if I'm doing twists, I don't have to do all those extra steps because I'm just doing twists. But giving the hair time, because low porosity hair takes longer to absorb moisture, you don't want to try to do everything all at once. So give yourself little steps, and then you'll start to see. Like, I had a client this week. She came to me. This is the most interesting thing I had ever seen. She came to me to get her hair washed, conditioned, and cut and styled. And she had a deep conditioner on her hair from overnight. And her point was that, let me bring this hair down. Her point was that whenever she goes to salons, they don't know what to do with her hair. And I said, but I talked to you. I told you this is my specialty. But she doesn't know me like you guys know me. She doesn't follow me on YouTube. She just lives in my area. She stopped into the salon and said, I need to get my hair done. And I said, yes, I'm natural. Or the ladies in the salon said, yes, go to Abena. She's the natural specialist. And so when she came to me, I said, you didn't have to do a deep condition before you came to see me because this is my specialty. The video froze, so I didn't hear it all. I will catch it later on YouTube. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Blondie. Absolutely. We're going to stop at the 30-minute part, and then I'm going to make sure this gets uploaded tonight, okay? So yeah, she came to me with a deep conditioning. She had kept it on overnight, which is something I'm opposed to because that can lead to scalp irritation. You don't want to keep products on your hair for hours on end and then even overnight. I know a lot of you do it. It's not ideal for your scalp. Now, some of you may get away with it. You don't know what the consequences may be 2-3 years from now. We don't know. I would just recommend that you not do that. Products are meant to stay on the hair for maybe 5 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour max. They will tell you. If you need to have it on more than that, they'll tell you. Otherwise, don't do that. So yeah, she came in with this product on her hair. Her hair was twisted up and everything. Like, okay, I just wanted to help, with the process because this is what helps to soften my hair. Her hair wasn't soft, but by the time I finished working with her, she's like, oh, my hair feels soft. Yes, because I know how to handle your hair. I fully, have a good grasp of how to handle low porosity hair. And this is fragile. Do you think my hair can take weekly sulfates? Yes, sulfates don't make your hair weak. All right, ladies, if you're still interested in hanging out with me on this chat, come back. I'm just going to shut down and come back in less than a minute. I promise you, I'll be right back, but I want to make this possible to put this up on YouTube, so I'll be right back, okay? All right.